Planters Bank was founded in 1946 by farmers and business owners because they needed a community bank that knew them and understood their business. A lot has changed since then, but Merchants and Planters Bank is still employee-owned and operated, and we're still committed to knowing and understanding the needs of every customer we serve. Great rates, fast turnarounds, and experienced local bankers ready to work for you. That's why you should choose Merchants and Planters Bank. Stop in any of our 12 locations or contact us at mnpbank.com.
We welcome you to Sports Unleashed on Cable 15 TV, Facebook Live. David Black, Hayden Schultz right here. Brought some Greyhounds in. We'll let them introduce themselves here in just a little bit. Three pretty good seniors, and we've been talking with them for the last 15, 20 minutes. Coach Reardon told them to make sure that they got here at the time they were supposed to be, and 5:45 is the time. We've had a good visit, haven't we, guys?
Yes, sir.
This big Abel right here, that's Matthew right there, that's Andre on that end right there. And we'll talk more to those guys here in just a little bit. But Hayden, welcome back to the program.
Great to be back, Dave.
So kind of give us some thoughts about the game real quick before we get to talk with the fellas here, please.
Well, I thought, talked a little at the touchdown luncheon today. I thought it was a good effort by the Hounds, playing up two classifications. Kind of knew going into it, probably going to be outnumbered, probably outsized. And I said this, I thought our athletes were just as good. And honestly, I thought our O-line, D-line matched up just as well with those guys. I don't think that they ever bullied us off the ball or did anything like that. I made a couple big plays at big spots and had a chance to win the game or, go up in the game, and it just didn't fall our way. But I was very proud of the effort. And in the two games, I can say this, and you always say, well, I don't care if we win a game. You obviously want to win a game, but honestly, I don't care if we win a game. If we play like we have against Osceola and BB, I love the effort. I mean, you could see kids flying around to the ball, doing everything they can, and that's just a testament to the kids and the heart that they have putting on that orange helmet, because there's magic in it, Dave.
There's no doubt about that. The Hounds had to come from behind on a couple different occasions, and really won the scoreboard in the second half. We'll talk with Coach Reardon about that in a little bit, but I thought overall when you kids compete and you compete at a high level and you're making plays and there's always one or two plays that make a difference in the ball game, and it did the other night. And just the officiating, you can always talk about, well, this, that, and the other, but I mean, you got to battle through all those issues and have an opportunity to win the game. And the only thing I've ever asked for as a fan and an announcer or whatever the case may be is, do you have an opportunity to win the game? If you had an opportunity to win the game, that's all you can ask for. Now, sometimes you're successful in that opportunity, and sometimes you're not because the other team is successful. But I thought overall it was a great night for the Hounds.
Well, both teams are always trying.
Absolutely.
It's not just us.
No, sir. The other team trying too, aren't they? My dad used to say about colleges, and I said, well, Arkansas didn't play too well today. And he said, well, Texas A&M gives out scholarships too. They give scholarships out. Those kids have been practicing too. But Andre, let's talk to Andre Rodriguez a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us what you do for the team.
Hey, I'm the kicker. Just kick the football. That's basically all I do.
And you kick it well. You kick it. So you do extra points, and you do.
We're working on that.
Okay, field goals maybe. Yeah. Can you kick a field goal? How far do you kick a field goal?
Right now, just like nobody's snapping it or anything.
Okay.
45.
Really? Hey, coach, he's 45
You have
yards.
to work on the whole process.
Yeah.
You got the process, need a little process.
It's 3 steps.
You got to have a snapper, you got to have a holder, and then you got to have a kicker. And
We'll get there.
all right, we're working on that because we're usually going for 2. But and y'all are all seniors. Now, tell us about your football livelihood. When did you start playing? And
I started playing in 4th grade, just like most everybody.
okay, little pee wee ball,
Yes, sir.
and enjoying all that. Good deal. Matthew Riley, tell us a little bit about you and what you do for this team, and tell them why you weren't there Friday night.
Well, I'm the starting left guard. My job is basically to move the man out of my gap and clear the gap for the running back. Wasn't there Friday night because I was getting over sickness, had strep throat, and had a little bit of a shoulder injury that I'm getting over. But I'm doing better, and I'll be back this Friday.
You know anything about boxing?
I know plenty about boxing. That ain't an issue. I know plenty about boxing.
Abel knows a little bit about boxing. He boxed up there in Hoxie there one time a year or 2 ago, and he didn't even box. He just tapped the guy on the helmet and they throw him out of the ball game. But
Yeah.
Big Abel, tell us what you do for this team. Where you play and how well you play at what you play.
Well, I'm the nose guard, and I'm also the right tackle sometimes. But I play nose guard most. That's my favorite spot. All I do is I bulldoze the center, guard, and sometimes a tackle if they wanted to.
And the other guard sometimes
Yeah.
too. And
Anybody in that general vicinity.
and you play offense generally when maybe the drive becomes very, very important, or you say, look, let me in there because I'm ready to go, and that's what Coach Reardon was bragging on you about, saying, Abel said, put me in there last week when we played. I said, put me in there, let's go. And
I just get in when I feel like the ball isn't moving the way
Right.
it should be moving.
there you go. Sounds like you're going to be a great coach. You're a pretty good football player. You'll be a good coach if the ball's not moving. Put in the big guy. Let him move him out of the way. All right, Hayden, what do you got for the guys? Got anything in particular?
No football question. Favorite subject. It's a fan favorite.
There you go.
I didn't even think
Why
about
they
it. Y'all
do
go
this?
first.
We'll start on that end.
Nah.
Yeah, Abel. Go ahead and tell me.
Favorite
My favorite
subject.
subject is English right now.
English.
Hey, for the record, it is football.
No, it's not.
That's what he
no.
said on his interview, and he said that people were going to make fun of
Yeah.
him. And I told him,
That was my favorite subject.
well, when David asked me after a player of the game, Nettleton, he came up in the booth. He said, "What's your favorite subject in school?" And I blank, and I said, "Lunch." It's my favorite part of the day. So English, Riley.
Well, besides football, I'd have to say my favorite is Miss Bradley's class. I love cooking. And I've won a couple awards for baking, actually.
Really?
Watch out,
Yeah.
he's a boxer and a baker.
You're telling me?
That is
A
my
man
nickname.
of many talents.
That is my nickname. I have not lived that down.
What you got, Andre?
Mine would definitely be ROTC. Yeah.
ROTC. Are you going to go to the Army?
No, probably not. My parents don't want that for me. But
What's life after high school? Is it going to college? Is it going to the work field? Is it going to the Army? What's your
I
plans?
plan on going to college,
Okay.
probably, but I want to be like an airline pilot. So
Wow.
I want to go to college first and then go on to pilot school.
Awesome.
I want to attend college. I just want to study general medicine.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to college. I'm gonna try and do nursing and real estate.
Nursing and real estate. That's a kind of a two different sides of the ballpark right there, but they're both very, very, very good fields. They're all good fields, and I want to talk to a man about becoming an airplane pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, a love for airplanes as
Yeah, I
a
love
younger
planes.
kid, and I mean, obviously, and so what does it take to become an airplane pilot? I have no idea. Have you looked into that? What you have to do?
Like there's a few pilot schools you just gotta go into, but you gotta get a few licenses before you go into.
Okay.
them. You
That's
gotta
cool.
have like a certain amount of credits and stuff.
Okay.
Hours in the air
Yeah,
and
hours.
solo times. And
No, Henderson State's got a good program.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
looked into that.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm just not a flyer.
it's a lot safer in the air than it is.
Oh, that's what they say. That's
I mean,
they say, yeah.
Statistically, if you make it to the airport and you drove, you've already survived the most dangerous part of it.
Here's what I say about those statistics, and I know that you would know because your dad knows. Here's what I say about those statistics. If you're in the air, I'm gonna give you a statistic, and something goes wrong,
Yeah.
and the engine quits, and you're driving in a car, and your engine quits, statistically, where do you think you might land? Land being the proper word. Where do you think might fall statistically on your chance of survival if that happens? Any answer to that one?
Best case, best case for survival, a body of water.
Yeah.
Worst case, a mountain. That's
Yeah, it's a mountain pretty bad, isn't it?
best case, body of water. Worst case, mountain.
I would imagine.
I lived through both of them.
You would.
Absolutely.
Now, I've got to bring this up. You and Abel talked a little bit about doing some blocking here and tackling before the show, and let me tell you what, Hayden Schultz was a great high school football player. He was a very, very good one. And I hope we're still on air. Will you show us to still be on air? Mine shows that we're frozen up, but
I show live.
okay, we're still going good. If we had Hayden Schultz and we had Abel Robinson opposite each other, between the dummies, one-on-one, no running back, no linebacker, just one-on-one, how do you think you would do, Abel?
I think I'd do great. I ain't gonna
think
count
it'd
to
come
myself.
down
I think
to-
I'd win. Just because I think I win anytime going against anybody.
There you go.
That's a good attitude to have
Solid-
about it. It's
solid
a great
attitude.
attitude.
I think it'd come down to who was more technical, though.
Well, I know grown men don't like to lose, so
See, that's the difference. That's the difference.
especially to somebody
He-
younger than them.
He has to win. You want to win. He has to win.
Yeah, and there is a difference. Yeah,
You don't challenge
David has
somebody
asked
unless
this
you know they'll
question
win.
since you were in 8th grade. First time, you remember when we were sitting at a junior high game and watching, you said 75 best player out there.
I did. I
We were
called.
sitting up there watching.
I don't know if your number was 75 at the
No,
time, but I
yeah.
did. Whatever your number was, when I was watching a junior high game, and I called my brother, Coach Kenny Black, and he was a defensive coach here with Coach Lewis, and I said, "Listen, I just saw the best 3 plays." And I said, "This is the best football player I have ever seen in junior high school." And I said, "Nobody can block this guy. Nobody will ever be. Nobody in high school can block this guy. Right now, he's the best I've ever seen." And that was you. It was 3 plays in junior high game, and you hit the center. And I went back 5 or 6, 7 yards. Then you hit him again. He went back 5, 6, 7 more. And then the next guy that came in for him, because he didn't want any more, he went back about 8 yards. And I thought, this guy can play. That guy can play. So I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed with you early on. And pretty impressed with you since then, too. But what do you like better, offense or defense? Come on, I know what you're going to say. But
I mean, yeah, it's defense, of course.
and why?
Just because I like getting off to the ball. Blocking is, I just don't like blocking, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can do it though.
Right, yeah.
I can do it. But I just like going to get a tackle,
There you
going to
go.
hit somebody.
Yeah, we were talking about the
I've
tackle.
been trying to get coach to put me on kickoff, but they don't want to put me on kickoff.
Well, you got to have some rest. You got to have some rest during the game, and special teams, way to get somebody some rest. And
I'm gonna sneak my way on there.
No,
need to be.
You're just going to see some dude disappear off the sideline. Abel throws him back over there.
Hey, that's a wedge buster. Right
I
there.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. But all right, here's what I'll ask this question. We'll come up with a few more questions before I let you guys get out of here. Tell me about practice today and what went on at practice, the good, the bad, and just tell us about the good things that happened.
Well, for the most part of practice, I'm just there kicking balls.
Okay.
I went
How'd your practice go? How'd you kick?
Pretty good. Just missed a few. It's pretty normal for me.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Just putting it on the tee and going, or have we progressed to the progression that Coach talked about a while ago with a snapper and a holder?
We got a snapper going now.
Okay, good.
So,
Good.
yeah.
It takes time.
Should be
It is a process. And Matthew, since you skipped out last Friday night, you back on the practice field today. I'm just riding you about
I
that.
know. It was all right.
How'd your practice go today?
Yeah, practice went good today. I feel like we covered over some issues I saw watching the game. We went back over and refined what was the problem with the blocking and everything, just cleaned it up a little bit.
Okay. Got it done on the practice field.
Yep.
So, Abel, when you watched the film from this past week, how do you felt like that you did, on both sides of the ball, and when you were in there making plays? What was your thoughts on how well you played?
I feel like I could have did better
Okay.
on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, I feel like I did better on offense than defense, even though defense is my favorite.
I'd ask you about this beforehand when there was that play where you drove the guy, kind of had a little double team combo block, and then he kind of went off, and you kind of kept driving, and you kept driving, and you just kept driving. And maybe 15 yards down the field, the young man just pulled his face mask and said, "I'm tired of this." I'd probably done the same thing, but because you was whipping that old boy.
Nobody likes that. I don't like it too. I probably would have did the same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I'd say it's a pretty good block. It's a pretty good block. And I watched you last week coming off the football and pulling and going and getting after folks, and that's what it takes. But all right, we got to get down to the big question, Hayden. Don't you think so?
Sure. We already know the answers.
Sure.
But they don't know the answer.
I know, but
They don't know. The people don't know the answer.
cinnamon roll or wacky cake, Andre.
Cinnamon roll.
Nah.
Riley.
Definitely wacky cake.
Okay, tiebreaker.
He's not gonna go with me.
Come on, Avery.
I'm gonna say cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll is the winner. Yes, cinnamon roll.
Yes, sir.
We love wacky cake. We love cinnamon rolls. But Hayden, sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row. That's 4 out of the last 6. That's still 67% of our Greyhounds that said that they like cinnamon rolls better than wacky cake.
The head coach is Wayne Cake, though, so that sways a little bit.
Well, maybe. But we have to ask all the assistant coaches
I
too.
wouldn't complain about either one of them.
No, I tell you what, if I get a wacky cake or a cinnamon roll anytime, that's pretty good. So, what do we know, and who wants to talk about it? Who wants to answer this? What do we know about Stuttgart coming in?
You know, they're going to be
Or us going to?
Yeah.
they're going to be a solid team like the others we've faced so far this year. I know we're getting ready for them, and I know they're getting ready for us. But it's all just going to come down to who wants it more at the end of the day, and I feel like we want it more than they do right now.
Good, I like that. I like that answer. The guys that you have looked at, I'm sure you've looked at some film that you'll either be working against on both sides of the ball. How's that going to stack up for you?
I'm just gonna go out there and do my best for the team, and I hope they got my back too. But at the end of the day, we're gonna put up a fight with Stuttgart, and hopefully we win.
Who we gonna try to stop? Who's gonna play?
Yeah, Cedric Hopkins,
Is he 6?
number
or-
6.
Number 6.
Who, Andre?
Number 6.
Not number 6,
Number
definitely.
6.
That's not happening.
I did see him the
He's
other
a big part
day.
of our game plan.
I did see him the other day take a little ball and came over to the right side and made a little step and a little cut back, and I thought, ooh, boy.
He states already. He's D1 caliber.
Yes, sir. He's a good one. Andre, what we got to do to win this football game Friday night?
Well, definitely not kick it to him. I learned that last week. I mean,
You know, he may line up somewhere differently if he does kick it somewhere differently.
yeah,
Keep your eyes
that's the
open.
reason
Keep
why we
your
have
eyes
2
open.
kickers on.
There you go. There you go. But anyway, anything else for these guys? We need to let them out of here.
Real quick,
Okay. And we're going to go to the Bank of England deal here just a little bit on the end.
individual goal this year. What do you want to accomplish individually from this year, and then what's the big goal? What's a team goal that you have? I'll go with you.
Well, once I get to kicking field goals, I don't want to miss. So that's one in my mind.
I like it.
But
What's a team goal before you go? What's a team
win
goal?
state.
Win state.
Team goal, definitely win state this year. But my personal goal is probably the most pancake blocks in the state.
There you go.
I like that.
What you got there, Big
My
Able?
team goal, I just hope everybody on the team can just learn to come together as one and play as one and win state.
There you go.
And a personal goal, trying to beat Antoine and most sacks. Whoever got most sacks, I'm trying to get all of them.
And I have
He's
no
trying to
idea
get
what the
all of
record is for sacks. I don't have a clue.
Are you talking about the record for Newport?
Yeah.
28, I believe.
It was quite a bit.
28 in one game.
Was it?
In one game.
28 tackles in one game is the record.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
That's to Jimmy McClure.
Did McClure get 28? I know. Woodrow Hodge did in 1973, and then Thamel Morgan did.
I want to say your brother said when Jimmy had 28 that
He had 28.
tied the record. I thought
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah, 28 tackles. You know, we were talking about today in the luncheon where, other than to say if you got 2 and you're leading the tackles, that's probably not right. So anyway, because we've had guys get 28 before.
Oh yeah.
And now Marcus Simpson had a bunch of sacks.
He was a 20 guy.
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah.
And I want to say there was one higher than him. I don't know if he ever got to. I'll look into that.
Okay.
I'll find out.
One of the things that we have not done very well, and I told Julie this early on when she was doing the putting together the magazine that we had, the guide. One thing we haven't done well as a group down through the years traditionally for years is we've kept statistics, but we haven't kept up with a leaderboard of where everybody falls and who's the leading rusher of all time. We probably know that. But where those other people come up, how many 2,000-yard rushers, which we've had a handful of those guys, passing yards. I know Cash Forster threw for 1,600 yards, isn't that right? Or maybe more than that. Yeah, maybe more than that.
I think he threw over 2,000
his senior year. So how many total yards he had in his time. But there's lots of records. We'll try to work on that in my next 66 years. I can last that long, or maybe 66 months, or maybe 66 days. I don't know. I just will get to it. But anything else, Hayden, for the guys?
That's all I got for them.
Been a good group today. Appreciate you coming, and we got them hydrated, Coach. They're all ready to go. We gave them a little Gatorade, gave them a little water.
We hog again tomorrow.
Abel got a Dr. Pepper. He needed a little caffeine.
He got a water too.
But he drank all the water. He took a drink of that Dr. Pepper and went, I don't want any more of that.
Abel, you never cramped it, Osceola, did you?
No.
Then you're all good, man.
That's exactly right.
He walked in. His only request was, "Do y'all have a Red Bull here?"
That's exactly.
They're gonna have a heart attack.
Guys, I give the story to everybody, and I give it to y'all too. There'll be a day, and it's not too far off, where you walk off that field and you'll never get an opportunity to do it again. And so enjoy it while you can. Get the work done while you can, and you'll join a long list of all of us who follow the sports. And sometimes you'll realize, and you may realize now, those younger kids, the 6th grade kids, the ones that play Pee Wee football, and the 7th grade kids, those guys are looking up to y'all. They look up to y'all and what y'all do and how you act, and everybody has heroes. So know that there's kids looking at you, and as a matter of fact, there's a lot of us old grown-ups that kind of say, well, those guys are my heroes down there. So good luck to you the rest of the year, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all for coming. I do want to bring this to everyone's attention. I do have some comments that have been made by some of our watchers out there and our viewers, and the comment simply says, Hayden versus Abel. I think we should set this up. I think we should set this up. So, yes, ma'am, I think we should too. I think we
could make this a fundraiser, couldn't we?
You bet you we could.
So what's the weight differential here?
It doesn't matter to Hayden. Hayden challenged the best. He'll
don't matter.
Yeah, he'll challenge the
Look,
best.
I'm just telling you what I know and what I can do. I can assure it might not be him blow me off the ball, me blow him off the ball, but I will not end up on my rear end. I can assure you that.
What's the age differential? Now, when did you graduate?
I graduated at 15.
So you're still young.
Yeah.
I'm better than I was.
Are you right now?
I'm in my prime.
Maybe we will see it. Well, that'd be a fun one.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. Coach, welcome back. Coach Brian Reardon. He's the head coach and athletic director of the Newport Greyhounds. And I want to say this. And I was going to say this a while ago, but I'll go ahead and say it on the air. When we had a little get-together on the sideline the other night, and I asked you about today, you know, what all happened. Nobody knew. The officials didn't know. They didn't know how to mark it off. And they find things. Well, we got 8 penalties and 3 here and 4 there, and somebody's get the ball. But anyway, when you came from a little bit further out than what you might needed to come, but you were there for a purpose, and you were at a tone of voice that a gentleman told me today, he said, I actually heard it on the broadcast. I listened to the broadcast. I could hear Coach Reardon holler, get off the sideline! Get off the sideline!
We're not going down that road again. we already had our hell in an instant.
Yeah, it was awesome, though. I thought, there you go.
They were all like, Coach, we're just trying to help him up. I thought, well, they got trainers over there.
They can help him
Y'all back off. Because from where I was at, I don't know.
Right, you can't see.
No. We're not doing this again. So I thought, considering all things, they behaved well Friday night. You know.
And I thought, you've seen the film and you've looked, and Coach, I'm impressed with our effort. I mean, our effort is just, we're playing like Greyhounds. Our kids just kept coming and coming and coming against a 5A school that had a lot of great athletes and a lot of good linemen. And our kids just fought tooth and nail, and you're there at the end with an opportunity to win. That's all you can ask.
Well, I said it when we got here. I was like, man, we talked about the schedule. I was like, 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, 4-0. Well, we're 1-1 right now, and easily could be 2-0.
Sure.
And then now you're heading to Stuttgart. Do you think that's going to be a close game? I mean, that's not. Well, there's no. They're going to be tough, and then you backed it up with Truman. So it's good to be battle tested. There's been 0 quit, obviously, in the first 2 games.
Right.
But if you keep playing close games, you're not going to get those breaks all the time. So
right.
Got it, won the first one, and turned around and played another close one and didn't pull it out. So I expect nothing less come Friday night. But that's going to make us better for the long haul. When I started, I said I love that schedule and I hate that schedule. I loved it from the standpoint had I been here for a while and built up a little armor around it. But I hate it from the standpoint that's my first 4 games as a Greyhound coach. And I said it's not about me; it's about the long haul.
That's right.
Just got to get through it. So it's going to really pay dividends in the long haul to be able to have these fights to reach back, talk about, pull from. Some of the silly mistakes we made as coaches and as players. I always tell kids all the time, it's not just you guys; it's us.
Sure.
I'd love to have 7 or 8. I said that today. I'd love to have 7 or 8 calls back or 7 or 8.
Oh, absolutely.
Something in the game plan. That was terrible. That wasn't good. So we're all learning and we're all going to grow. And this team, I've said it and I say it again. We're not where we need to be, but I don't know if you want to see us week 8, 9, or 10.
Right.
I feel like we're going to start clicking and rocking and rolling soon.
How we talked about it on the air about on the 4th down play, and I mean anybody could second guess when you do it, it doesn't work. Why do we do that? But you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice over there in a matter of a few seconds of saying, okay, I mean they're going to gang in on Chris. I mean they're going to load the box on Chris right here. I said, well, do we dare gamble and throw the football? And in reality, it wasn't a gamble at all. It was a good call. It was a great call, and you execute that properly, and you don't get a pass interference call at the end like there was. It wasn't called.
I'll let you guys do
that. But anyway, a blatant. The play was a great call because it was executed. First of all, Isaiah slipped coming off he slipped on his step 2. He slipped, and then 22 Spearman is just. I mean, he's wide open early. And then the offside linebacker comes from behind, and he gets there, and he got there a little late. But anyway, I'm not complaining about that. But it was a great call because had they done what they were supposed to do defensively, it's a touchdown for us. Yeah. It's a touchdown for us. And it didn't happen. So, only thing you can ask for is, did you have an opportunity to win? Yes, we did. Did we have a play that we had it set up perfectly, and there's no right or wrong call there at all.
They're tough. you know, I think y'all know the conversation between me and Coach Brandon was, man, I want to give the ball to CJ right now.
Right.
And then we looked, and I said, is that 4 or 5 yards? And I said, they are going to sell out on that.
Sure they
They're
are.
gonna stack the box. And that's a hard 4 or 5 yards.
Yes,
against
sir.
8-9 man box.
Yeah.
So as logistically as a coach, numbers wise, it was a no brainer to throw the ball. But there's also something called heart
Yeah, there you go.
that you lean back on, and you're like, but I want CJ to have the ball.
Right,
So how
yeah.
do we get CJ the ball? You know, and he's not necessarily a receiver type. So it was a tough one. We discussed it, and just Brandon's last words were, I really just want to get the ball to CJ right here. I don't want to throw it, but I feel like we have to. And we just kept looking. I was like, it's a 4-ish, maybe a little long 4. So, it didn't work, so it was the wrong call.
No, never. I thought it was the right call. Still
I'm
the right
just
call.
like the fans. I was like, dadgummit, should have given CJ.
But I mean, if you do that, and then they blow a linebacker in, we get a -4, and then everybody, you should have been. Yes, sir. Yeah. Why you do that? 9 of them up there.
No coach does that.
Yes, sir. Nobody does.
That's part of it. That's the fun of sports.
Absolutely.
I watch sports, and I do the same thing on Saturdays and Sundays.
There you go.
I don't mind it. Like I said, it didn't work, so we should have done something different.
Analyzing the whole game and what you got to look at on film. I mean, what can you tell us that you didn't know maybe Friday night that you learned?
You know, of course, we lost DJ. Was Marshall, our starting quarterback, second offensive play of the game. Maybe sick to my stomach for him.
Sure.
He's really turned the corner. They got within the classroom and got himself back into the team, and just was. He's all in. He was there today, snapping balls and throwing balls with his one arm. He's going back to get another visit with his wrist. He's out 6 weeks, the initial one. So I said, well, Hank, man, if we do what we're supposed to do, that'll be mid-season.
Absolutely.
And he's staying pretty positive. So first, I want to mention that. Sorry to hear that for him. Hopefully, he didn't have to have surgery because that could extend that. But he was working with Pooty today, or Demetric Denton, and he was also working with Dylan Braxton. So we're going to probably lean more on the senior this week due to his experience last year.
Right.
And so anyway, going into that game, you lose your quarterback, and then you get down as a coach. You don't have time to be down very long.
No.
You just have to move on. And things were shaky at first, but nobody flinched. The mentality didn't flinch is what surprised me. They just kept rolling, kept growing. What are we going to do? We're going to feed the rock. We're going to get behind that O-line. We're going to get behind CJ. And, we struggled in the passing game and all that. We're working on a whole lot of that today and yesterday. But as the game went on, I thought, 5A school, all that stuff you mentioned already. And then now you're down to your 10th grade quarterback, and we're right here. And, and I actually was about 90% sure at one point with that last drive. I thought we were going to win the game.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. I thought we were going to win it too.
The coaches always think that. I thought we're going to win this because we're dominating the line of scrimmage. I judge it on who's winning the line of scrimmage late in the game, and we're dominating at this point. And I think we're going to win this game. If something bad doesn't happen, and you judge on what you call it bad happened or not. But we did, and football bounces funny ways, and things happen. The referees, I pointed out today, were a big factor in the game both ways. So
sure.
So we try not to use that excuse.
No, absolutely
People
not.
that don't know, there were 16 penalties and 17, which is pretty equal. Call that even, and 137 yards to 139 penalty yard. So they weren't necessarily picking on us; they were dead even. We got to overcome and fix what we can do. There's so many things that I did wrong that each kid could point out their own mistakes. So you have to overcome games like that, where there's a lot of flags and just execute just a little bit better. We got 1 out of 4 2-point conversions. The list goes on and on.
Right.
Yeah. The heart was there, the grind was there. We got in a bind. Start quarterback goes down. The mentality was there. We deferred. It worked out perfectly. When you defer, you go get that big stop. Brendo comes down and just smokes the guy at the beginning of the game.
Yep.
We get the ball. We go score. We get the 2-point conversion. We get the ball. We almost 2 for – in the coaching world, we call it 2 for 1 at halftime. We ran out of that. We'll be at the 5-yard line when the clock goes really fast.
Yeah, real fast. Well, it went real fast.
So I had that. Maybe had one or two more plays. You defer. That's why you defer if you like your defense. You defer. You put a big stop up, you get the ball, you go score. Boom, you get the ball at the end of the half, you score. Then we come back out and did score.
Absolutely.
So the mentality was there. We almost just those little things like that. We weren't real good with the clock management. I could go on and on about the negatives, but I always lean back on the fight's there. The fight's there. We can fix that other stuff.
Did we score on the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter?
Maybe the second or third play. It was close. Yeah,
It was early.
We weren't into it very deep, and I remember thinking, there you go.
Yeah, 11:46 of the third.
Yep,
It had to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. because the kickoff and then
Yeah, 11
was that the
40,
first play? Wow,
64 yards.
I knew it was really early, and then and that was the pep. You know what? It makes you feel as a coach when you go out there and say we're going to go out there and score and we're going to tie it up, and then we're back to 0-0, and then there it goes. We didn't get the 2, but we were. But you know when you're down 2 at that point, we're like we got plenty of time to make it, and we did.
You bet.
We made it before it got up on them.
You bet.
Tough game, you know. As a coach, everything matters so much in those games. But last week, I was at home doing the same thing, and
Right.
I said, sloppy win, but I'll take it. You know, we're going to learn a lot from it. The kids' mentality is fine. They get it. They see the big picture. You know,
We shut those guys out in the second half, and we shut them out, and then we get the pass interference push, and then it gives them
hard
new
to get yourself
life.
back. It's hard to get
At
yourself
that
back.
stage, you just kind of
It's hard to
go,
stop 'em
we
and
just
then-
stopped
and
them.
celebrate,
Yes!
and then have to go back. And every time you see that, get ready. That next play or two is fixed to be a touchdown.
Well, then-
It's hard to get back into it after that.
The pass or the roughing the passer.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
That's
about.
what he's
yeah.
talking about.
I mean,
You got
that
that
was-
stop, or they wouldn't have. They actually scored on the defense. They scored those 2 touchdowns early. One of them was a mental bust. You know, it wasn't like they were driving the ball. They weren't driving the
Right.
ball.
No,
on us.
no, they did not.
They were not driving. They were that last one with a little help. They drove the ball on us. They just weren't. And one of them was a mental bust that happens, and then the other one was that Keandre with a heck of a run.
He just made a great run on the kickoff, yeah.
Well, I was thinking just on the defense.
Okay, yeah, right,
Especially
okay,
touchdown.
right.
He popped that one run.
Right, yeah, he did
We
that.
squeezed that gap. We fit, and he
Yep.
broke some tackles.
Yep.
You know, and when he hit it, we knew he was fast killing the field. So hats off there. But as far as them actually putting drives together, you know, they weren't necessarily driving the ball on us. Our defense was swarming all over the place and did a good job. And then late in the game, I thought they did a good job there too. It wasn't like they played bad. That quarterback popped that one. We got over pursued a little bit on the interior, give that one big play up. Like to have that one back, really.
Right,
because,
sure.
Because they were having a hard time without a big play, because most of the plays would be nothing, and then every now and then it'd be something big. So, yeah, you start digging into these games, you can drive yourself insane.
No, you got to move on. You move forward. You got to help.
We've already, like I said, we're ready for Stuttgart, and we're moved on. But no, we got to talk about it too. You know, everybody wants to hear about
Sure.
it.
Everybody likes to hear about
bother
how
me.
the game went, what thought was going on the. Most people, if you've never played before or if you've never been on a sideline before, it's a different atmosphere from there than the stands or the broadcast booth. I mean, it's a lot different being down there.
It's a lot more fun being down there.
It is, isn't it? But
Oh, yeah, I've been in all
it's
of them.
chaotic at times. It's chaotic because there's
it.
so much going on. I mean, so much going on the sideline during, hey, coach, I need some Gatorade over here. You know what I mean? Coach, what are we going to do in the next year?
Like 10 seconds before kickoff, so-and-so doesn't have a mouthpiece.
There you go. There you
Didn't
go.
we bring some? No, we didn't bring them out. They're right beside my desk. Will you go get the mouthpieces?
That's exactly right.
Well, I don't know if I can't. I'm not going to get the mouthpieces. You can please go get the mouthpieces. 'Cause I need to stick. Yeah, that's what's going on.
I know.
People don't know
It's
that.
chaotic.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's chaotic. And
we missed having our Zach Hoyt there. I really missed him. We didn't have. We will now. Unity is going to provide us a trainer the entire rest of the year for the home game.
Awesome.
So we're good to go there. But not having a trainer there, and I didn't want DJ think he was getting ignored. Of course, I'm a coach. First thing I said, hey man, wrap it up.
Wrap
Let's
it
go.
up,
That's
let's
not
go.
your throwing arm. That's your left arm, isn't it? He's like, Coach, I can't move it. I'm the worst in the world when it comes to that stuff. I'm like, well, put a pad over it and wrap it up. And they come back and like, Coach, he
That's
thinks
exactly
he broke.
what me and Ben
Yeah.
was saying. Can he not put a knee pad or
Yeah,
something?
that's
Tape it?
that's what I do for him over the next 6 weeks. I mean,
was like-
he throws with his right hand.
And he's like, Coach, I cannot even move it. Look at this. I think it's broke. And I was like, well, I'm not very good at this stuff. But we miss old Hoyt. It's going to be good to have that. Unity's going to take care of us the rest of the year in that area. So, my point was that I wish we'd had somebody take care of him, because you had to keep coaching.
Oh,
You had to
yes.
keep coaching.
You got to go on.
We did have an ambulance there for an emergency, but tough kid. He just never flinched, and he was actually wrapping it up at one point, about to come back in. Then he was like, he said he couldn't squeeze his hand to take a snap. So I was like, well, you go out there then. So
I saw Coach Branham, obviously after the ball game, and I talked to DJ before I talked to him, and he came up, wrapped up there, and I said, what's the diagnosis? He told me, and I said, how long? I said, 6 weeks. And so Coach Branham looked at me, he said, and I said, broken. He went, oh, like that. And he came over and said, how long? I said, 6 weeks. He went, great. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Same thing you're doing. Yes, out for the year. Yeah, out for the just 6 weeks. We'll get him back, you know. And you take a kid, and like you mentioned a while ago, how much he's put into starting quarterback 2 years ago, missed last year, and did the work in the classroom as you mentioned, and I mean, just a kid that wants to be a part of it, doing what he needed to do today on the practice field with those guys that are going to replace him. Very capable people. I mean, we got to go try to win a football game, and we're going to put our best quarterbacks out there to play, and with what we got to, that's what we got to pick from.
You know, as a coach, you got to be careful what you say sometimes because do we miss DJ? Heck yeah, he was our starting quarterback.
Sure.
For a reason. You know, there's no question about why, and everybody on the team knew it. But these other two are very athletic.
Starting quarterbacks now, aren't they?
And both of them have experience there, and both of them are going to be just fine. And don't get me wrong, you know, Dylan Braxton, well, he'll play anywhere.
Right, he did, won't he?
They started him at guard, at pulling guard one time in a junior high game. They told me because he couldn't find anybody. He said, "Coach, I'll do it." He's played outside linebacker, inside linebacker, safety. He plays our H back for us. He had a really tough run. You're gonna see what you get out of him running. You saw that with a little double handoff. He dropped a thunder on that safety and ran through him. That's fixing to be your quarterback right there doing that. So there's gonna be some good to that. I mean,
hey, you play on some teams that, in all fairness, you know, you had a starting quarterback for 3 years in a row, and you really didn't have backups that got any meaningful snaps, and it makes a little difference when you've got guys that have had those snaps that could come in behind those. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we had a 3-year starter that was a sophomore with me in my class who ended up starting as sophomore, junior, senior year. Never had a real, I guess, season injury or anything where he had to miss a week or anything like that. Now bumps and bruises and things like that, they come with just playing football.
Sure.
But as far as mentally too, I mean, you got your guy back here.
Right.
So I mean, and I played center all 3 years of high school, so a pretty strong bond. And that was actually Gunner was quarterback 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and I was the center 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So we always played together. I mean, we always knew each other. Played baseball together, so I mean the bond between me and him. I've never taken another snap with another quarterback.
Right.
Never been in a situation where Gunner's elbows hurting. We got to get somebody in there to. Never had that, so a little difficult. I mean, as far as trying to game plan, but like Coach said, I mean when you got guys like Dylan Braxton who played majority of the year last year at quarterback, and Pooty. And let me say this about Dimitri Denton, because I felt like we might have been a little bit hard on him myself when I kind of went back and watched it. It wasn't anything that he was doing. He was put in a hostile situation as far as, hey, you got to play against 5A BB.
Right.
And the 2 games that he's got to play quarterback, he had to play Prescott and BB.
Yeah.
In high school football.
So, right, there you go.
This guy, he didn't get to walk in and get to play a 2A school and just sling it all over. I mean, he's had to play very, very top-level competition. So, I didn't mean anything by that.
He played quite well, yeah.
I don't think anybody took it that way, but when I went back and watched it, I felt like I might have been a little bit hard on him at times. But I thought Denton did a great job coming in. I mean, a guy that probably hadn't had a lot of snaps.
It's hard when you put in a new – it's unique with us because our offense is new, so we don't really want to split the reps because DJ was still trying to develop.
There you go.
So yes, he was getting some reps, but did he know how to manage the game? No. We were working on DJ to manage the game. It's really hard. At the college level, you have a whole lot more time, and those guys played ball their whole life. You don't have to teach them how to manage the game. You don't have to teach them. There's the play clock.
Right.
The little stuff that you don't think about, a whole lot. All of a sudden, you get out there, and another thing people don't know. His cadence is different. We jumped off sides 3 times, and I was like, "Why are we jumping off sides?" And every time I ever switch quarterback, that happens. It's because the cadence is all of a sudden out of rhythm. And then people don't think about that.
Right.
We lost the game. Should have went 10-0. Went to Hebert. Our center was down. Put another guy in, and we just dropped snaps. But they weren't bad. But I was like, the rhythm's off. It's a different center, and it cost us the game. The other guy was back the next week, and we rolled. Lost the team we shouldn't have. But that thing, like you said, the center quarterback rhythm, the kids listening to the cadence. Although we, as coaches, say, watch the ball, and you won't.
Right. Yeah.
You're listening to the cadence because you get used to the cadence. So that was out of whack. So it was just everything was new in general, not just to him. And I imagine being a 10th grader. I was on a kickoff team and nervous. I mean,
Right.
nobody was even watching me but my parents.
Right.
Yeah, okay, now you're Pooty back there, and the whole
Everybody in the stadium was watching the quarterback.
And I thought he handled himself well, and I thought he was shaky early, and I thought he settled in.
Yeah.
And I thought he made one dynamic run. I thought it gives you a little bit to see what he has in him. He is extremely fast. He walked a kid down at OCO last week, 20 yards behind.
He
that guy.
sure did.
Very talented kid. He's got a future. We're going to throw Dylan in just because for the immediate fix right now, but keep grooming him and have 2 of them ready. It's good to have 3 of them.
Absolutely.
I've been
Well,
in
how
places where
fortunate.
you barely have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've many years. He's like, what happens if he gets hurt?
I don't know.
Like, you really don't know. It's like, we'll just let the running back take some of that, but he can't throw. Well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
So we talked about that. I was like, there's 3 pretty capable guys right here when I got here. So, hate to be in a situation to use them, but here we are, and hopefully it'll all work out. And Dylan and Pooty, and then maybe DJ get back, and Dylan will be just fine because he'll go back to playing outside linebacker and H-back and where in the world you want him to because he just loves football, And Pooty's time's going to come.
Absolutely.
He's going to keep developing. I wish we had just some JV games this year. We talked about that, but maybe next year.
The JV games were always important back in the day. When we quit playing those, then your younger guys didn't get any meaningful snaps under the lights, which were real game types, and it kind of that wears. It doesn't wear on you, but it takes away from development so much.
I'm not opposed to it. I may pick up a couple. I've talked to some teams if they get canceled on to give me a holler.
Absolutely.
Play all those 10th graders and those
Absolutely play,
because the seniors are pretty much eating up every start position,
Right,
almost.
yeah.
I
Yeah, when
you
you
got a great group.
When you got 23 of them.
So if I
Absolutely.
took the juniors and sophomores and put them in a couple JV games, it'd be awesome. I've always said a game is better than a month of practice.
Sure it is.
I don't know where the comparison is, but you get so much farther along by getting game experience in than you do just keep going through practices. So the JV games are awesome, and you have to have numbers for that. So some
Right.
years it's kind of tougher than others.
Right.
Hopefully we can start getting back into some of those.
Talk a little bit about your preparation today. What all did y'all do? I mean, not technically, but I mean, how did it go psychologically with the kids? And
Well, Labor Day coaches, we don't like we don't like anything that messes up the routine.
Right.
And guess what? The kids don't either. So it's been like this for 15 years that I've coached, and it was a tough practice today. It just the routine gets out of whack.
Yep.
And it wasn't like an effort. It wasn't anything like that. I don't know. It was just rhythm and routine got out of whack. We practiced yesterday morning, so continue. I'm not going to do that next year. We're going to stay right in the routine and do it. The kids' sleeping routines, all that stuff. We just felt like we were sputtering around, which Tuesdays are not going to be your best practice day anyway. So there's a little bit of a Tuesday practice mixed in with
you're trying to as a player, you're trying to survive Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesdays are tough.
It's like
Go at it.
trying to survive
Monday's
it.
a lot of mental. Fixed last week. Thursday's polished. We got to play ball tomorrow, and we really don't want to put pads on. We want to keep you healthy. But the game plan's in. If you stop Cedric Hawkins, number 6, probably the best running back we'll see all year. If we see better, I'd rather not. I don't want to. I hope the next best or equal is the guy on our team, C.J. Young. But this guy's real deal. Our whole game plan's to stop him, so we spend a whole lot of time.
A little different type of running back than CJ.
Yeah.
CJ's a power guy, and CJ's he's a knock you down, and this guy's I'm gonna make you miss.
He's a finesse guy. He's got a lot of wiggle, great balance. He's as fast as he needs to be. You're not going to catch him. If he gets past you, he's gone.
Yep.
We're not going to kick to him. We're going to double team him if he comes out. He splits out. He'll split out to the number 1 receiver all the way out. He'll split out to every position. He'll take snaps. He's a difference maker. He's that kind of kid that if you have him, you're going to win. You're going to win 5 or 6 extra games in a year because of that one guy.
Yeah.
So, and I've coached against him the last 2 years, and our whole game plan was to stop him last year. And he only had 3 touchdowns. We lost 21-18. I thought that was a win.
That's exactly right.
They called one of his back, and thank goodness. I think it really was a hold, but I don't know. And he's just that guy. You could do everything. He's probably gonna get his. That's what I told the kids. I said, don't get discouraged if he flips around and do everything perfect. I was calling
right. Yeah.
Just understand we don't want him to have 4 or 5 touchdowns. Right. We limit him to 2 or 3, and he's the big part of their offense. They're struggling at quarterback from what I can see, as far as like trying to figure out their identity. They have a guy that's a pure runner, and they got a guy that can throw the ball
a little bit,
and they don't know which way they want to go. It seems like at times they're doing a lot of rotating right now. So. Maybe we'll catch them at a good time. Price is a heck of a coach down there, and there's always a lot of talent. It's a hard place to play. and offensively.
Well, Newport Stuttgart has had a tradition going back for many
yeah.
years. Played in the semifinals in '81. We had to beat them down there, and they were the favorite to beat them in 1981. And which sent us to Alma the next week when we won our first state championship. That during the playoff era. But boy, what a ball game that was! Had to stop on a big fourth down play. But we've had some great ball games. One of the great ball games that you played in was at Stuttgart when we were behind 20. Was it
21-0 half?
21-0 at half? Came out 122-21.
I didn't remember that one, but
Yeah, I mean it's just
comeback.
22-21 final.
That's a heck of a comeback there. We beat him
and raining
down there.
Monsoon.
Yeah, it came a monsoon. It was 21-0. You know what we were doing in the booth? Going. I'm about ready to go home.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to go home. But anyway.
Guess y'all handled the weather a little better than they did, huh?
Well, it didn't. We came out immediately and threw the ball around. Charlie Bell caught 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah.
Good ball player.
And then late in the fourth quarter, they had the ball kind of moving, and defense with a big stop on fourth down ended up turning over, and it was kind of ours to lose at that point, and we just kind of ran the rock in. But
Yeah.
we ran a 2-point conversion play to go up right before the rain hit, and we actually did not do the right play. I can remember.
Really?
Call a timeout. Coach Harrison calls us in. What are we going to do here? And used Carl as a decoy, put him at tailback, and had him swing out wide. Gave it to the fullback. Fullback never touched the ball a day in his life. Never have done a fullback. Never at practice have we handed it off to the fullback.
Who was the fullback?
Terrell Roddy.
Yeah, that's
40,
right.
42. Big
That's right.
senior
Yeah,
Terrell Roddy.
that's right.
Strong as an ox. I mean, he was 5'8", 165 pounds. He's a 300-pound bench press, over 500-pound squat. I mean, he was just a rock. And ran the wrong way, and Gunner goes to hand it off, and then he's right behind him, and he hurries up and puts it in
He
his
sure
belly.
did. Yes, sir.
But he got it in, obviously.
Oh, he walked in.
You better be lucky than good, what they say sometimes.
I guarantee you.
Sometimes, as a D coordinator all these years, I always say the busted players are the hardest ones to defend.
Well, because
when they
you don't practice those.
You're teaching your guys exactly what you want them to do, and also that play breaks down, and those are tough. Those are tough.
Yeah, when you set your defense, this is what we got to do because this is what they do,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you got 11 guys going over. Well, this guy's doing something different. Then it's raw talent.
Yes,
it's just
it
raw
is.
talent after that.
That's right.
And there's lots of plays in the game that not a lot of, but there's a handful of plays like that more times than not determine the outcome of the game on a busted play, on a play that.
But you get discouraged sometimes as a high school coach. I watched a lot of college football this weekend. There was a lot of sloppy football.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I saw 5 missed field goals.
I'm talking about like LSU. You step down, man. You block that guy on the inside
don't let
first.
him. Yeah.
And he sure did. He took the outside
Yes,
guy,
sir.
and there you go. That happens at college too.
Yeah.
And NFL starts next week. I bet you it's going to be sloppy. So that goes back to what we said earlier. You got to play to get better. You can't just practice.
Absolutely.
You got to play to get better. So we're getting there. I do think we made a huge step. I really believe that. I think we made
I think we made great progress.
we made a jump forward.
Yeah.
We played a more sound team. Probably a more disciplined, better coach team that weren't out of place and whatnot. Probably a better team. Nothing against those, very talented team that'll probably be somebody you don't want to see week 10 and the 3.
Right,
Either,
yeah.
I think they got a little ways.
I think they're a lot like us.
I think they got a little ways to
game.
go. That's right. And we know we got a little ways to go. Cleaning up, new staff, new everything, rock and roll. So, but I thought this team was a little bit more established and solid in a lot of areas. Not really a whole lot of weaknesses. I'm not saying they're a phenomenal team, but they said one of that Keandre, that guy that gets you those 2 big plays mixed in with a bunch of smart guys that are playing hard and physical and disciplined football. Quarterback was a load to tackle.
He was a good one.
A senior All-State quarterback last year.
Yeah.
A senior this year and an All-State quarterback last year.
Really?
Tough to bring down one-on-one. I mean, they get well coached, like I said. They did a good job. I mean, they practiced too, I guess.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be in a town that nobody likes to lose around here, and I don't know, he certainly don't. And we're going to get better, and we're going to try to win a whole lot when we lose. But it seems to be a very educated crowd. They all everybody kind of saw it the same way. Like, hey, man, some places you lose, that's it. I don't know.
Right.
I hate you.
That's what makes it.
You lost your quarterback. Everybody's like just breaks it down just like me. You lost your quarterback. You guys did this. The fourth quarter, you had a chance. I mean, hey, it's a 5A school. I mean, I was like, hey, you guys have common sense, right? I love it. Glad to be back to Newport where everybody gets football.
Pretty educated
Now, we can't keep
football
having
club.
games like that. We need to be winning. Still need to win that game. I hold myself to higher expectations than that. We still need to win that game. With all the stuff that went against us, we got to win that game.
Well, the thing about it, when all those things go bad and you have a chance then you have a chance. In my heart, that's all I've ever asked for. Boy, if all those things can go bad, and then you've got a chance. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Sometimes, you even said it after Osceola, sometimes those guys are over there crying and we're celebrating, and it's could have been us. And we could very well be 2-0, and then in all essence, we could very well be 0-2.
That's right.
I mean, so it's a great way to look at it. But you go play, they give you 10 games a year to play, and then if you're good enough, they say, okay, we're going to draw up a bracket right here and see how well you do against some of these other teams that maybe that you haven't played or some that you have played. So anyway. Talk a little bit about your junior high team. Won another ball game. Junior high and 7th grade both undefeated.
2-0 and 2-0. The 7th grade, I believe, had the 24-0 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
Got a couple guys that are hard to tackle for the other team. We Coach LeVar the other night. I had to get on to him late, and he's taking over the 7th graders. He wanted to maintain his shutout. And I said, no, we're going to get some of these kids in there. We've handled this, but that happens when you, as a coach, you get that way sometimes. And I said, we're going to play everybody. We did play everybody and still maintain the shutout. So that's good. Junior high. Now Truman wasn't a joke of a game. Now big physical bunch.
Yes.
Big. I mean, there was about 8 kids, I'd say, that they looked like they were high school kids. I mean, tight end looking kids.
Really?
Big kid. Didn't have the speed we had.
Right.
But they had a big hard runners, and they ran a kind of a single wing offense with mash. They came out in the second half, started leaning on us a little bit. It was 13-6, I believe, and they were driving with about 2 minutes left, and they get down in our side of the field and they scored and kicked their extra point, whatever, tied up, and 2 weeks in a row. Day Braxton Dylan Braxton's little brother, Day pick 6 to finish the game.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks in a row.
Nice way to end, huh?
I mean, yeah. And of course, it just kind of the week before it just kind of put an exclamation point on.
Right.
On,
yeah.
We were already up 2 touchdowns, but that one sealed the game because they scored. They could easily tied or went up one with going by 2. So tough team, well coached team, very physical team. But that junior high bunch, same thing. They were down 20-14 last week, 2 weeks ago at half. Come back and won 40-20. They got. I don't know if we got down, but we were tied at one point, and then it was a battle to the end, and they had to make a play at the end to win. These games are good for you after they're over. You're like, you grow from them. But man, they're starting to drive me crazy. Somebody told me, some of the parents, the Sampsons have a kid on both teams.
Oh yeah.
You can't coach that hard both nights. You're gonna wear down. I'm like, I'm already wearing down a little bit. So.
But you get to rest and relax, and in January.
That's right. That's what I got.
January.
Christmas break.
January. Yeah, you get from Christmas break to January 1st to relax, and then you go back to work.
But it's fun. That's why I do it. And it's a good time. It's fun to watch that. Hey, that's a good bunch down there too. Smart. They got the athletes. They got the linemen. They got it all. They got the kicker.
Yeah,
they're doing a better job than us with extra points. And we do got a kicker, but we just got to get the process all together. We're gonna keep working on that. We're not giving up. We're not gonna just not. I hated it. I said I'm gonna get in a situation we don't get better at that where you're tied 20-20. You're like, well, we just kick extra point, win this one, and I got to go for 2 because we can't. I said, I don't want to do that, so we got to get at least we can do it. So we're going to keep working on it. We may have to take some lumps in the games, and try to get better at it because you got to be able to do that. Now, I still think you should be able to do 50% of your 2-point conversions. It just hurt us at the end of the game.
Yeah.
We would score and it felt like we exhaled.
Right.
So I've talked about that with the kids a lot this week. We're not done yet. We got to go do another play. We got to get one more.
It's a scoring play. Yeah,
it's
a big scoring play.
We lost by 2.
Yeah, it's a big scoring play.
We were 1 for 4. So I mean, there you go. If you're 50%, which is what you bank on, at least being if you can't kick extra points because it equals out, then you tie.
Absolutely.
If you go 3 for 4, which I think there's no reason why you can't go 3 for 4 with the guys we got, then you win that ball game.
Right.
So, again, I said it earlier today. Make all the excuse we want, but at the end of the day, we could have won that game and overcame all that stuff. And I expect to be in this position again and win the game.
Before you get out of here, and then I've got to do the birthday report. We'll let Coach get out here in just a little bit, and then I'll do the birthday report, and then you can just sit there, and then we'll finish up in about 2 minutes after that. Or I may do it while you're sitting here. But anyway, I wanted you to talk about the atmosphere at legendary Graham Field last Friday night. From the tailgate, which you weren't there at the tailgate as such.
No, I didn't get to do that.
You didn't get to do the tailgate, but talk about big crowd from BB, and then talk about the Greyhounds.
Yeah, it was. I saw a lot of old friends I hadn't seen in a long time. So I'm having to catch up, say hi to some people before we go out there to kick off. A little nervous. Probably got more nervous than I thought I would. As calling you coach, you get excited, but you don't seem to get as nervous. And I didn't seem extremely nervous at Osceola it was a weird situation. Wasn't getting anybody out on a kickoff, but I got pretty nervous, and I told Brandon that. I said, I didn't think I was going to get this nervous, man. I walked out there and saw the crowd starting to flow in, and everybody was like, man, you should see the tailgate going on down here. And towards the end of the game, I mean, I was pretty amped up. I mean, I looked up one time. You get zoned out.
All right, yeah.
You really do. I looked up one time. I remember one time, real quiet part of the game, they started playing that jump around song. And all the kids started bouncing up and down. I started bouncing up and down a little bit. And I turned around and I said, man, this place is hopping, man.
Yes,
this
sir.
is awesome.
Yes,
and I
sir.
told the kids that it was a crucial, tight part of the game. I said, this is why we do this right here, man. I said, those blowouts are nice. I said, but this is fun.
This
right
is
here.
why you do it.
And so the crowd was awesome. My wife got some good pictures of them. The student section was awesome. Man, I hope we can keep that going because that's such a big deal. That's when I played in the days, it was always full house, and sometimes we'd blow people out and they'd leave at halftime, but they were at the beginning of the game. They were all there. And Truman, 2 weeks, which we got to worry about Stuttgart as far as winning, obviously, but I hope to see that exact same crowd. And
Yes.
see if we can do a little better for
It'd
them.
be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's do this right here. You got Bank of England up first or not? You two chicks or Bank of England? Just
It's 2 chicks.
okay. Just do the two chicks, and then come to me, and then I'll do the birthday report. You stay where you are.
All right.
You stay where you are, and then we'll come back and
Okay.
we'll end with all three of us here.
Okay.
Well, the Two Chicks Floor some more birthday report, and we usually do these on Mondays because the show is usually on Monday. But yesterday's birthday, Becky Hubbard with a birthday, Shirley Sanders, Paige Ellis, Al Green with a birthday, Paul Simmons and Mark Thomas. And then on Tuesday, Patty Locklear, Alex McKinney with a birthday, Mike Elwood, Devontae Neal, Dylan Dulaney with a birthday, Bobby Williams, Doug Robinson, Ricky Roberson, and Sana Griffith, all with birthdays on Tuesday the 6th. On Wednesday the 7th, Ruth Ann Soden with a birthday. Michael Booches Alcorn, class of 2008, with a birthday on Wednesday. Chad Hopkins, Thomas Rushing, Jordan Evans, and Nolan Brzezinski, along with Josh Reed, Barry Wolverton, Justin Simmons, Emily Ray, and Tanya Wood. And then on Thursday, Dana Beard has a birthday. Amy Tanner Boyd with a birthday. Robert Lambert, Tracy Renard with a birthday, Casey Burnside, Tiffany Stafford, and Heath Wilson, all with birthdays on Thursday the 8th. And then on Friday the 9th, Cindy Mabry with a birthday, Jordan Johnson has a birthday, Carl Turner, Kevin Jackson, Bliss Russell has a birthday on Friday, Kenneth Eubanks does also. And then on Saturday, Luke McFadden, Leah Jones, Matt Ward. On Sunday, Jeremy Goff, Bambi Huff, Sarah Hunter, Terry Carlton, Denise Giles, and Karen Williams, all with birthdays on Sunday. And the Two Chicks Floor some more birthday report brought to you by Two Chicks Floor some more, Josh and Jenna Austin and all the crew. So come back to us right here, and we'll get some final thoughts from these guys, and then we'll get out of here with the last ad set. Sound fair enough? Guys, a great show tonight. Coach, I appreciate you taking time to join us. Final thoughts about the show and about Stuttgart coming this Friday night?
Show up Friday. I mean, we'll be filming it, but it's always better to have a good crowd. I thought we traveled real well against Osceola, so extra 10 minutes than Osceola.
Yeah.
About the same. We'll just call it about the same.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah. If you take a bus, maybe 2 hours, but really come out and support these guys. You will not be disappointed in the heart and effort that they give. I can promise you that. Regardless of what the scoreboard is, I'm very proud to say I'm from Newport, Arkansas, watching those guys go out there and give everything they got. And then getting there guys in here and really getting to meet them and get to break down stuff. They were here at 5:30, Coach. They weren't here at 5:45.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And these guys here were early. Coach said they'd be here at 5:45, so we kind
I told
of
them to be here at 5.
Yeah, they got here early. They got here earlier.
When you get to come early and get to ask those guys some questions that you might not get to ask on air and things like that, makes you more proud, to be from Newport and things like that.
To know the kids.
So show up Friday. The Hounds deserve it, and also Thursday playing MacArthur.
At home, that's
Go,
right.
go watch an undefeated junior high team. I promise you won't be disappointed in that. I mean, they've got some studs like Coach talked about. Money Wren's as good as I've ever seen in junior high.
He's going to be one of the Newport greats. Great kid, too.
Yeah.
Does well in the classroom. He helps us on the sidelines on Friday nights. He was the one holding the iPad for me. And I was like, Money, where you at, Money? He just wants to be there all the time. He's a superb basketball player. Great kid. There's a lot more of them, too. I mean, it's not just him. Luke Reynolds is going to be a really good quarterback. Y'all mark my words on that one. He's going to be one of the Newport greats. Those two as a combination, they may be talking about them for years to come after they get done with senior high football.
Final thoughts and final word from you, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. It's been fun. Hopefully y'all come to Stuttgart. Like I said, it's not much farther than Osceola. If we travel that well again, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll be a road team this year. We had to go to Osceola to get a win, and then we'll go to Stuttgart and get a win. Those be that's two good places to start.
That's two good places to start. I guarantee it is. Yes, sir.
Put those on the resume
Yes,
right there. And we will have our hands full, that's for sure, but our kids are ready.
That sounds great. We look forward to it. We'll have the broadcast to start at 6:45 and on air at 7. I would tell everybody up front that I've been working with several different people down there to try to make sure that we have an internet connection of some kind. Elliott Sides is going to provide us with a more than a hotspot. It's going to be something that we think will work regardless of what the internet connection is down there. So we should have a signal and be on the air at 6:45 and the game time at 7 o'clock. But thanks, guys, for joining us once again. And as always, go Hounds! I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors on Cable 15 TV, Facebook Live, Sports Unleashed. And that list is long, and we certainly appreciate all of them, or we wouldn't be able to put these programs together. Included in that list is C&M Ag Depot at 2900 Highway 367 North. Farm supplies, hardware, clothing store, power tools, you name it. Before you shop out of town, come see us at C&M Ag Depot. Dia Scrap Metal, buying cars, iron, copper, cans, brass, steel, stainless, electric motors. They buy everything and they pay in real money. Give them a call at 523-3858 for more information. Fletcher Land Survey. Before you build that fence, make sure you have accurate boundaries. If you don't, you might mess up and have to tear it down. Give Kenny a call at 523-5625. Other sponsors include Fathead Pizza. That's one word and it's all caps. And it's the Hembry Brothers, Joey and Marcus. Great pizza, fresh, hot sandwiches, and the salad supreme that's second to none. You can call your order in at 870-201-1313. They'll have it ready to go. It'll be piping hot when you pick it up. Delta Trainer, been involved for 50 plus years right here in Newport, Arkansas. Dale Lee started this business many years ago in his backyard, and just built one trailer, and then one trailer went to two trailers, and then the third trailer, and then pretty soon it's a multi-trailer business, sending trailers all across the United States and Canada. These guys do it right, and let me tell you, there's no better family in Jackson County than the Eves family. And then also Temp Pro. If you need that air conditioner check, Sam and John Laster are the guys. Give them a call at 501-827-3213. And the White River Health System has the care you need when you need it in Newport and Batesville. In Newport, Dr. Randall Hunt, Dr. Nicole Lawson, and APRN Marlo Hargrave for your primary care needs at the Newport Diagnostic Medical Clinic. You can give them a call at 512-2500 for an appointment. Until next time, everybody, this is David Black for Cable 15 TV and Sports Unleashed. Thank you. See you next time.